It's all in the voice. No, not the TV show. But think about that for a minute. Think about the TV show. Most of you have probably seen some form of it. There are judges seated in big old chairs. Contestants come out to sing. But the judges have turned their chairs around. They can't see the singers. In that first effort, the singers have only their voice to communicate their talent or lack of it to the judges. The judges aren't distracted by anything else, by their costuming or by anything else. If you remember back a couple of years ago, one of the contestants was a sister in Italy. She came out in habit. It was a wonderful moment. But imagine if the judges had been facing it, they would have been so distracted by the fact that a sister had come out, they wouldn't have listened to her voice. It's all in the voice. Think of when we were growing up, and those of you who still are at home. Think of how the voice got used. Most of us can remember tones of voice. When mom or dad used that tone, or said a certain set of words like your name, you knew more than any other words what the situation was. When I heard my mom use my name, I knew I was in for it. It's all in the voice. Tonight at the gospel, we hear Christ say that I call my sheep, they know my voice, and they follow me. They know my voice, and they follow me. Remember how shepherds operated at the time of Christ. There might be 20 shepherds on the same path, and for security they would come together, especially at night. And they would take all of the flocks of sheep and they would just put them together behind some safety barrier, including the bodies of the shepherds themselves, who would rest protecting the sheep. But then in the morning, as they got on their way, they had to call those sheep forward. And if I'm a shepherd, I don't want your sheep. You don't want mine. And so the shepherd would stand up and would begin to call his animals out. And the animals knew their shepherd's voice and followed. What a remarkable scene that would have been. The sheep knew their shepherd's voice and followed him. How do we hear the call of our God? How do we hear the voice of our Good Shepherd in a world that is so full of competing noises? How do we listen for the voice of God? Notice that Jesus says they hear my voice and they follow. They take action on what they hear. They not only hear the voice and recognize him, but they follow him to do and to go where he leads. That call comes to each and every one of us. That vocation comes to each and every one of us. Our shepherd is calling each individual here by name to follow him. In addition, this weekend we sometimes, in referring to it as Good Shepherd Sunday, we also have it as we celebrate World Vocations. Speaking of vocations to priesthood or diaconate or religious life, and we talk about those very special calls in which the shepherd has called some of us to participate. But what if you never hear the call? What if everything is so drowned out you can't hear the voice? What can we do to help hear better? Well, maybe we need to take some steps in our own life. Maybe we need to reduce some of the distraction during part of the day. How much time during any day do we take a few minutes just for silent prayer? And maybe even not even using our words, but letting God speak to us. Maybe we should just shut up and let God speak. Father Roy and other vocations directors for the priesthood, and I can certainly tell you for the diaconate as well. Many people, when you say, why didn't you become a priest, or why wouldn't you be interested in priesthood? And often the answer is, nobody asked. I didn't hear the voice. I didn't hear the call. Well, now we're going to offer you that invitation. Is God calling you to that particular path? But this isn't just about religious vocations. This is about vocations for each and every one of us here. Our God is calling us each and every day, calling us to follow him in some very particular way. Are we disposed to listen for that call? Christ is calling you. Don't make him shout.